Madam Speaker, there is a need to look into a major infrastructure that will help the rural youth to also be more engaged. Let us focus the sheet from the earliest forums that we do have in our big towns and big hotels than to have it more in the local sections. Let these initiatives guarantee that every Ghanaian, regardless of political affiliation or our geographic locations, have a real seat at the table. We must be more into action, not just showing us highlights from proceedings of what happened in Parliament or any other hotels that we have in Ghana, but we must see the show at our rural communities. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member from the Minority Caucus. I think we can have your second contributor, who is Honorable Asante Kwesi.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Indeed, you live long. And this statement, I'm not surprised that it's coming from the minority, because what the majority knows best is to come here and make hasty propaganda. However, Madam Speaker, I will proceed to my submission. The motion or the statement made by the mighty minority member is that the Open Parliament Initiative. And Madam Speaker, it will surprise you to know that this Open Parliament Initiative has groomed a lot of leaders. Gone were the days people only heard of Parliament where members, their MPs, go there, sit and debate without knowing what actually goes on in the House. But through the Right Honorable Speaker of the House, we have even committee sittings being broadcast on national televisions. This is something which is good for our democracy. And also, we want to commend the Parliament of Ghana that they are bringing all these things to our doorsteps. Madam Speaker, this is something that as youth, we need to also take a very good opportunity from. As youth leaders, we should visit, like, comment on this initiative being brought by the Parliament of Ghana. In so doing, Madam Speaker, we will have inclusive democracy, which will help promote Ghana. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you for that contribution, Honorable Member. Honorable Majority Leader.
All right. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. May you live long.
Thank you.
All right. But I would like to, the minority to clarify something for me. The people or the honorable members commenting, were they the one reading the statement or they were commenting on it? It seems they took time more than the person who even read the statement itself. Okay. Notwithstanding that, we all agreed that after the statement is being read, we will move on to the private members' motion. That is item number 7A, which is in the name of Honorable Mary Bentua Ankumeni, the Honorable Member for Gomua East, with this humbly submit.
Before I attend to our Honorable Minority Leader, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the coordinator for the Student Parliament Program at the Parliament of Ghana with the Department of Public Engagement, who is in the person of Mr. Mustafa Ahmed. Also, the Director for Parliamentary Visitors Center, who is in the person of Madam Margaret Downcore. You are all cordially welcome to our first sitting. Honorable Member Sorry, Honorable Minority Leader. May we know why you are standing?
Thank you, the ever-wise Madam Speaker. But you know, this is what the majority always does, that we always end up putting them in a position where they are in a haste to take the house home. Mark it on the wall. Very soon, our majority leader will stand up and then call for the postponement of this house. And, Madam Speaker, I do not oppose to the request made by the majority leader. I think this is the first and only time I would agree with him on something in this house. But however, I am urging the whole house that the statements and comments raised are real concerns affecting young people in the country. They must not become speeches that we applaud today and forget tomorrow. We therefore allow the house to proceed. But you know, the mighty minority is always here to demand accountability when necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minority Leader. I would have been calling on the Majority Leader to give us indications for us to proceed. But upon standing, he gave us the indication to proceed. So we shall be moving on to item number 7A, which is our private member motion to commence the business of the day to say. Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. When I earlier got up, I made mention that the private motion was in the name of Honorable Mary Bentiwa Ankumani of Gomwa East constituency. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Can we have the Honorable Member?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. I, Mary Bentiwa Ankumani, from the Gomwa East constituency, I beg to move the motion that this House calls for stronger national measures to address the non-consensual recording, sharing, and circulation of intimate images and videos among young people on digital platforms. Thank you.
We have the motion being moved by the majority. Honorable Minority Leader, can we have you seconding the motion?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. However, the seconder is one prominent member of my caucus, so I'll leave it to him. Thank you.
Can we please have his name? We can't just have...
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My name is Samuel Kwadwo Yelach. I'm popularly known as Political Doctor. I rise to second the motion moved by the right. I rise to second the motion moved by the honorable member, and I believe this motion is timely and deserving of the support of the House. I therefore urge all honorable members to support the motion. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I so submit. Thank you.
Order! Order in the House. Order in the House. Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I don't know when we started using our nicknames in the House, where a member can just get up and say, I'm popularly known as this. I beg to move that he retracts that statement and apologize to the whole House.
Honorable Member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am surprised that the majority leader, a whole leader, do not know the rudiments of the House. Madam Speaker, popularly known as the honorable member, is rising to second a motion. He is from a constituency. He is just telling the honorable House the names that is affiliated to him when you go to his constituency. And I am surprised that the majority leader wants to make issue out of this. Boss, please allow, relax. You are already on the losing side. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Where's my We can't request for it at this moment. Honorable Majority Leader, you're on foot. But before you say anything, I would like to comment that I am Madam Speaker, not Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. We know this is a House of Records, and everything we do over here is official. When the Hansards are capturing our names, it is captured as it is on our ID cards, not also known as, popularly known as. When did we get here? Madam Speaker, I beg to move that he retracts that statement, apologize to the House until we accept we are not moving.
Order in the House. Honorable Member.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Let's move to order. Let's take from our standing orders and have the standing orders read. So I move that the House refers to our standing orders 93. Thank you, Right Honorable.
Honorable Member from the Majority Caucus.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity and the honor done me. I am Honorable Prince Ramsey Boreorma Okuma from the mighty majority. Madam Speaker, it is very prudent that as a House of Records, we take into account precedents that will not lead to the healthy discussions and discourses of this honorable House of our own. The Right Honorable Member mentioned his AKA name, which as a House we don't recognize here. he is recognized by his official name that he entered this very house with. And as such, he must be identified same. And so to set precedents that will not help us going forward as a house, Madam Speaker, from the majority caucus, we humbly, for the sake of the future of this house, request that the honorable member retracts and render an unqualified apology to members of this honorable house.
Honorable
Then we
member,
proceed to the next item. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Madam Speaker.
you're welcome. Order in the house. Can I have the honorable member? Can I have the honorable member Mohammed Sharif speak? That's what I want to do. I want after he does that. Can I ask you guys?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, as correctly said by the majority leader, that this house is a house of records. I would like us, when we rise to make a statement, refer to the various standing orders that is guiding proceedings in this house. The standing order 1, 2, 3, according to the standing order I'm having, which is the standing order of Parliament, 1, 2, 3, 1. Right Honorable Speaker, with your indulgence, I read: a member or a person entitled to participate in a debate shall not make reference to any matter on which judicial decision is pending in such a way as may prejudice the interest of parties to the action in the opinion of the person presiding. Right Honorable Speaker, 1, 2, 3, 2. A member shall not, 2A, use offensive, abusive, insulting, blasphemous, or unbecoming words on a member on any other person, or impute improper motive or impugn the integrity of a member or any other person. That's what we Speaker. A nickname or a title given to a person does not insult or put a bad name on a person. And perhaps the nickname he mentioned is not any word or statement that has a negative impact. So I am not, I don't see the need for the majority caucus members to rise on their feet to catch your eye to put a concern that honorable members should retract and then apologize. I don't see any need for the honorable member to do that. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, you may all have your seats. Resume your seats. So, from the standing orders I have, and according to Order 94, which I do not want to read, but if you have the standing orders with you, kindly go through. As a house of records, we do not allow the use of nicknames. And I will call on the honorable minority member to actually get up, retract the statement, and apologize to the House. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. And for the purposes of education, I would want you to educate me on the specific, standing orders you are referring to. For the purposes of education, thank you.
Order in the house. Order in the house. Honorable member. Honorable member. Honorable member. As members of this House of Records, I believe every one of you here will have the standing orders. And for our time constraints, I will kindly plead or urge you to do that education on your own. Thank you. Please, like I made my initial statement, order in the house. Kindly retract and apologize so we can proceed with the business of the house.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to use this opportunity to retract the statement. Thank you.
Order in the house. Order in the house. Honorable members of this house, our honorable member from the minority caucus has retracted. So we are at liberty to proceed with the business of the house. Honorable Majority Leader. If I may remember, the motion was moved and seconded by the minority. And being moved and seconded, it is for the consideration of the House. Honorable members, I know you all have interest in the motion, but because of our time constraints, your leaders have suggested, like I mentioned earlier, to take 4 from each side. They have accordingly submitted the names of members to speak. I shall begin with the minority. Each speaker has 3 minutes. Very important, 3 minutes. Leadership will conclude afterwards. From the list I have, the first debater we have from the minority is Honorable Peter Annan.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. As the motion says, if permission is granted before me to once again take it. You see, issues concerning our digital space, okay, it's one thing I believe that the House we should consider the most. For some time back, we remember it happened to the honorable member for Nigo Pram, Honorable Sam George Nati. So, my brothers, as we are here, sorry, honorable members, forgive me, Madam Speaker. Yes, my honorable members, I am calling for one call house where we can all join together. Permission will be granted before my leader to dive in deeper with our various reports so that we take lead. So from the minority side, we would refer our debate strongly through our leader, I think, under the conclusion part. So the House, please, social media issue is of great importance. That is why as young intellectuals, we have been brought together to speak on it. So please, when the time is due, honorable members, we give out a better debate. Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker.
If I may get them right, doesn't mean that they don't have anyone contributing. It's just the speech that their leader will get us. I thought it was the first speaker. It will be the first debater. Honorable Minority Leader, from what I have gotten from your honorable member, does it mean you will not be having debaters, or you'll be bringing on debaters to talk?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My leader has spoken to me. We have already presented the debaters, those who will be speaking on the particular motion before the House, to the table of the clerk. And I believe that by so doing, it has been forwarded to you. What my honorable member rose up was to give his first statement. And his stance is that this issue, as a minority caucus, have also taken a firm stance through our leader. We are going to voice it out. However, we still go by the names that we have. You told us from leadership that we should present 4 people, and we have done that. So as time goes on, these debaters will come in and debate on the motion. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
You're welcome. Meaning I can proceed to the majority. Honorable members, Honorable Majority Leader, may we have your debater, who is named Patrick Aqua from the Cape Coast South constituency.
Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity. Before I go on, I will plead your indulgence to refer us to Article 22, which allows members of Parliament the freedom to speak. But we should also be guided by Article 30, by our standing order 30 and 31, that certain unparliamentary words are not acceptable in this House. So, Madam Speaker, I humbly submit that the minority should be mindful of these orders 30 and 31. Having said that, the issue of the digital space is very important. That is why your government, my government, this government has taken the opportunity to bring in laws to deal with some of these excesses. Madam Speaker, government is planning to bring motion, a bill to this House to amend the Cybersecurity Act 22, Act 1038, to prescribe stiffer punishment for offenders who go around abusing people on the internet, especially sextortion, whereby people will put nude pictures of people on the internet and ask them to pay money before they are deleted from the internet. Madam Speaker, moving on, secondly, this House is aware that the government has presented a budget allocation to the Ministry of Education, the National Youth Authority, and the Ministry for Youth and Empowerment to go around schools to educate our young people to be responsible on the digital space. This is the government, this is the commitment that tells you that government want to do something for the young people of this nation. Madam Speaker, having said that, in our local parlance, we will say that utu momanefu na utu ejamwafu, literally meaning that when you are educating the cat, you also educate the mouse. Let me use this opportunity to call on the young people of this country to be responsible on digital space, because the internet does not forget. Having said that, thank you for the opportunity. I humbly submit. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member from the majority, for that contribution. Honorable Minority Leader, do we have your speakers, or we can continue with the majority? From the list I have, we have Honorable Bismarck Selassie. Can we have you?
Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you for the opportunity given to me. First of all, I will say that it is not okay for somebody to put out an explicit image of another person out there. But I also believe that relationship or marriage or whatever stage you are in, it is between two people who are matured and of sound mind. So if I am in a relationship with somebody who is not matured and is of not sound mind, I am not expecting that person to be my partner. So if we are in a relationship and then I ask my partner, let's say I am staying far away, let's say a distance relationship. After a long day from work, I expect to come home to my partner, my beautiful wife, to, refresh my evening. But distance is between us, and that cannot be a barrier. There is technology. We cannot take away technology from relationship. So yeah, I can ask my partner to send me a beautiful picture of herself.
Order in the house.
That beautiful picture of herself is what I will use to boost my mood and my morale for the evening. That is what I am saying, that it is between two matured and people of sound mind. You get it? I am not supporting irresponsibility. I am only saying that relationship is between mature people. So if you are going into relationship, you should look at your partner very well. We will not take your decision to go in for, excuse my language, immature person and come and blame somebody for putting it out there. You know your partner, you know him better than me, and you did it. My partner can send me a view once. At least I saw it that evening. I need it for that evening, and it is gone. We have security. There is cyber security laws, and the security of WhatsApp. View once cannot be saved, so I can't use it for future dealings. So if I need it for that evening, it is sent to me for that evening. It has boosted my mood. I am okay, she's okay. That is partnership. That is relationship. That is marriage. So the motion before the house should rather focus on punishing the people who coerce and then extort their partners for that. But that shouldn't move the motion of technology and cyber security in relationship. No. What about my partner being in Sweden? I'm in Ghana. Should I cancel the relationship? No. So I rise to oppose the motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member from the minority, for that vibrant contribution. I can see we have majority of the House members cheering to your point. Are they changing? So we've taken an input from the the minority. We are moving to the majority, and from the list I have, the next contributor or debater will be Ethelbert Sabongu from the One Municipal Constituency, or One Municipal. May we have you?
Thank you very much, the silver-headed speaker. Allow me to educate the minority leaders of the House. Digital responsibility, consent, and online safety. Honorable member, can you digest this question? Digital responsibility, consent, and online safety. Is your safety assured? Have it in mind, these mobile phones we are using, they are electronic gadgets. It can be spoiled and you send it to a repairer. What happens at the end of the day with your secret information on it? Ladies and gentlemen in the House, let's be guided by education and technology. You are educated to speak as a public speaker, but you are not educated as a technician on your mobile phone or your gadgets. Madam Speaker, I rise to add my voice in support of this motion by my colleague. If you would not give a stranger the key to your house, why then do you give them the access to your digital life? It's a question to the minority. Madam Speaker, Our phones already have access to our private lives and our informations, yet we have this information shared to people every day. Why don't we ask ourselves, who access these informations? Who saved them? Madam Speaker, our Constitution in the 1992, particularly Article 18, protects the privacy in our homes. More importantly, communication. Let us have it in mind that without the absence of communication, happens through WhatsApp, Facebook, and TikTok. Madam Speaker, consider this as an example. A young lady in a relationship with a gentleman of distance relationship shares her private image to this gentleman she trusts so much. At the end of the day, this gentleman posts this particular picture online. Within minutes, millions of people download this image and reshare it. Eventually, this image will be deleted. But what happens to the lady? She gets traumatized and her reputation gets tarnished. Let us also have it in mind, my minority leaders might say it is just social media life, but the internet never forgets. Madam Speaker, I therefore emphasize that we educate citizens on the right to social media handles, how they should operate these social media handles and their safety around them. It is very necessary. I therefore stand on authority given by Madam Speaker to support this motion fully. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Honorable Member from the minority, can I hear you speaking? The one with the Batakari.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm Honorable Larry Emmanuel Yenube from the Bunkuru constituency in the Northeast region. This is not to argue a lot, to say that the issue at hand is not critical in Ghana or in all regions of Ghana. We admit to the fact that when it comes to social media and its related issues, it is very critical. And we have to pay much attention to it. Now, we are looking at how these measures can be curtailed. If you and I, despite all what we are saying, do not remain cautious and guided with how we publicly display our information on the media, then I don't think we have a positive way. You and I, if we are paying critical attention around the globe, we will realize that certain countries like that of Korea do not just allow anybody to be able to put even certain public information on the internet, because we are looking at it is a national security concern. You and I may not know that certain information we put out there may be risky to us or even the nation, and we as young people. So if we are looking at this key issue, we need to look at the laws that are guiding some of these things, especially talking about consent. When you look at our constitution, it says that when it comes to public places like markets, hospitals or other places, some form of footages can be taken because it's a public place and there's nothing to be hidden. But if we are guarded and we don't pay much attention, and you walk into any other place and you think you can just put footages and put it out there, then the person can take you on based on the laws provided in the constitution. So we are only saying that the government should look at how we can strengthen some of these laws with regards to social media regulations and how young people subscribe to these online platforms. Let's talk of TikTok. What regulations are the government putting in place to make sure that it guides profane language and a lot of issues when it comes to TikTok. Let's talk of X and other platforms where people make certain statements without any fear or panic because they feel like they cannot be reached. There are many social media platforms which young people create just to instigate others. What does the national security do about it? It is a key concern, and we need to be cautious as young people. You have a daughter or a child of less than 15 years, owns a mobile phone, and go live on TikTok 24 hours. What do you say about it? So we as young people, especially nowadays, we say technology and all that stuff. We need to be cautious. Taking into consideration...
Honorable member, you have just 1 minute.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Yes, I would end up by saying, any young person involved in a long-distance relationship should be very cautious. If someone truly cares for you, they would not wish to see your news online. We need to be guided that there are frauds, and people use that, we call it the romance scam. We are saying that the government should strengthen these laws, monitor to make sure that if you are beneath the ages of who is supposed to be on the internet, they should regulate and make proper scrutiny to remove people who are using some of these platforms to, shame this country. We say that government should strengthen the laws. I humbly submit. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you as well. Before I move to the majority caucus, honorable member from the minority, why are you on your feet?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I am rising on part 13 of our standing orders, which talks about rules on addressing members. Right, Honorable Speaker, with your guide and indulgence, this particular standing order talks about how you address ministers, deputy speakers, and the deputy ministers, and all other members. Right, Honorable Speaker, it is clear, the standing orders are clear, and it states that you address the ministers by their official ministerial title. Deputy speakers and deputy ministers, you address them by their specific offices they hold. And then all other members, all other members may be addressed as honorables or combined with the name of their respective constituencies. Honorable member from the minority caucus, from the majority caucus, when he was on his feet, used ladies and gentlemen to address us, which we, the minority caucus, found it unparliamentary. And then we ask that the honorable member should kindly retract and then apologize to us for addressing us wrongly. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
So from our previous back and forth, that was based on addressing the House and honorable members. We had this back and forth. If we are to continue, I know you are standing on that, right? We will continue with that. So I kindly call on that particular majority member to stand up and do us a favor of retracting and apologize to the House for us to proceed. Honorable member, you may have your seat.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I believe I addressed this honorable House well, but looking on the view that we have visitors around, that is why I indicated, ladies and gentlemen. I believe the honorable member may not hear me right. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Order in the House. Like I mentioned earlier, we have a limited time and we do not want a back and forth. For us to progress smoothly, I urge you to stand and retract and apologize for us to move on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. with respect I have for you, I retract my statement. Thank you.
Thank you, and order in the House. We continue with our debates. We move back to the majority caucus, where we have our third speaker to be from the Sunyani East constituency. In the name of this Ofusuhini Boafo. Okay, he's on ground. Yes, you have the floor.
Right. So, Madam Speaker, with respect, I rise to lend my full support to this motion. Madam Speaker, let me make this clear to the House and my brothers and my colleagues from the other side of the House that this is not just a debate about social media etiquette, but rather a debate about dignity, privacy, safety, and justice. This is non-consensual sharing of intimate images of becoming a serious form of technology facilitated to abuse, particularly young people. It can destroy reputation, relationships, education, and livelihood, where leaving victims with deep psychology and emotional scars. For many young people, what begins as a private moment can suddenly become a public humiliation. Once such material is released online, it can be copied, reposted, and shared among millions of people. Madam Speaker, consent must not end when a person enters a digital space. The law exists, but is it enough? Madam Speaker, Ghana is not starting from zero. The passage of the Cybersecurity Act 2020, Act 1038, was an important step towards protecting citizens in our increasing digital safety. The law provides for offenses relating to the non-consensual sharing of intimate images and threats to distribute such material. But, Madam Speaker, the existence of a law is not only part of a solution. We must ask ourselves, are these laws being effectively enforced? Are victims receiving protection and support? Are our young people adequately educated about digital consent and online safety? Are the consent strong enough to deter those who commit these offenses? But, Madam Speaker, I believe there is still much more that we can do. Madam Speaker, this is not a theoretical issue being discussed in this chamber. It is happening in our communities, our schools, universities, workplaces, and even our constituencies. We have seen a tragic case of one young beautiful lady called Benedicta Yabua, a young woman who took her own life way back 2016 because her own boyfriend released an intimate video that they had. Madam Speaker, her story is not simply remain another sad story in our nation's memory, but rather it reminds us of very rare consequences of image-based abuse. We have also seen report cases involving...
Honorable Member, you have just a minute.
All right. Involving Anaya Abonsu Kwatin, a self-proclaimed false prophet who was having intimate with his church members, and later who released it to abuse them and also seek for some money from them so that he won't do that. The Cybersecurity Authority has also drawn attention to growing problem on online blackmail and extortion, including significant increases in financial losses associated with such offenses. Behind every statistic is a human being related to it. It could be a brother, our sisters, our students, our friends, and even members in our constituencies. They can lose their peace of mind, confidence, privacy, relationships, and in most strategic circumstances in which their hope for the future is at stake. First, we must strengthen enforcement.
Honorable Member, conclude.
All right. So, Madam Speaker, let us build a digital Ghana where privacy is respected, consent is understood, and technology is never used as a weapon against the dignity of other human beings. So I strongly believe that this motion should be in support. Thank you very much.
Thank you. From the Minority Caucus, I have Honorable Ose Kwajo.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right now, I can prove that 90% of us here promote this act. We even have a nice name for it, Azigi. We young people also promote this intimates being shared. Why? Because we love to see other people naked and also tarnish their images. We all know that the Ghana Cybersecurity Act 2020, Act 1038, specifically criminalized the non-consensual sharing of intimate images under Section 67 with penalties of 1 to 3 years imprisonment on semi-conviction. But the question is, are these laws being effectively enforced? Are the victims able to report easily? My brother, my honorable member made a point that somebody take her life out of this act. So, and also, one thing is that these AIs we use is also a threat to us. Because the UNICEF's Ghana research has commended greater sensitization on this. So, Right Honorable Speaker, to conclude, since the time is not our side, I'm a youth.
Order in the house.
And also a student as well. We should stop tarnishing the images of others. And especially when others are able to freely talk to us about the issues they are facing. We should not rather go pass their backs and rather share the information with others. One thing I like about the Parliamentary Visitors Center is that they said their data protection is their hallmark. Once you enter inside, everything you share is very safe. It can never go out. And also, prevention is always better than cure. We love taking videos of ourselves while having our intimate time. When this goes out, and it's very difficult for us to take it back. So I will plead to all the youths here. We can have a good time, but I'm begging, we should not take videos and pictures of that. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you to Honorable Member. We move back to the Majority Caucus, where we will have our very final debater, who is from the Sunyani Municipal and go by the name Honorable Benes.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable members of the House, distinguished invited guests, as the fourth speaker speaking in favor of the motion, digital responsibility, consent, and accountability, I loved how our opponent agreed on the motion. The Ghana Data Protection Act, that's Act 843, states explicitly that you do not have the right to send people's information, recordings, or any information without their consent. So I believe because the digital space has become a global platform for us today, it has become a place of business, education, entertainment, and even communication. Therefore, the Data Protection Act protect these informations that has been sent to other people without them exposing them to others. Let's take a situation where a business partner sends confidential information about their work. Then you publish it for their competitors to pick their information. That is a huge Data Protection Act. That is a breach in the Data Protection Act. Therefore, youth must be accountable for whatever they do. When you post something online, be ready to face the consequences. When you are caught, do not say that this person is treating me this way because the person has power more than you. If you have freedom of speech, remember that there may not be freedom after speech. Therefore, people that exposes other people's confidential information should be severely dealt with to prevent other people from exposing others' important information online. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member from the majority. And this brings us to the end of the debate. And there being no more contributions, the question is, as many as are in favor of the motion, say aye. Say aye. Those against, say no. Say no. I think the ayes have it. And the motion is adopted. Majority Leader, I wait for your guidance.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Before we started with the debate, you rightly made mention of the fact that after the members are done debating, opportunities will be given to leaders to also share their views on the motion. But after the debate, you put the motion across for ruling. Madam Speaker, I know you are the wisest chair, but we can also guide you on certain things you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you for bringing that to my notice, and I appreciate that. You may be standing to put on your contributions.
Thank you very much once again. I always say you are the wisest chair, because when certain things are going wrong, you take admission and you correct it. Majority members, say yeah for Madam Speaker. All right. Sending of digital content of people without their consent has been one of the problems facing this country, and as youth as well. Someone may ask, what has the government done, or what has the majority, of which I'm the leader, done about this? We should go back to Cyber Security Act 2020, that is 1038. It says, the section 67, it criminalizes such acts, and even what? Someone who is in this act may face a prison terms of not less than 1 year, and not more than 3 years. And 68 also make mention of the fact that if someone threatens you that I'm going to leak out, or I'm going to send out your private videos outside, that person is also subjected to this punishment. That is not less than 1 year and not more than 3 years.
Order in the House.
And the reason why this issue is still going on is as a result of the masses not having the public education on how they can go about things when they are when they face these kind of things. You could bear with me until now. Most of even honorable members don't even know about this act. That is the Cyber Security Act 2020. And it is our duty as youth parliamentarians, when we go back to our various constituencies, we should go and advocate or serve as advocate for this. When someone's life or when someone's private video or any private document is being threatened, the person should seek the right address. The person can report to the police, and they can take on that person who is trying to. But if you take turn in what? Giving monies to these persons, they will still demand for more. And at the end of the day, they are still going to release it when you don't have that amount of money. So I'm pleading with CSOs, the NCCs, and with the youth to go out there, use our social media to propagate this gospel, that when someone's life or when someone's private part, when someone's private content is gone out there, when someone's private content is gone out there, the person should seek redress, and the person will be attended to, and the person in question or the person who threatens this person's life can't be put or can face the consequence of the law. And when we go back to under the same 1038, we have a section of it which is for children, that when we go out there or when we take pictures of children to go and sell, give it to people or leak it out to the public, we can face not less than 10 years and not more than 25 years imprisonment. So if we have this at the back of our mind, I don't think we will go out there and be sharing videos, what we locally term it as azigi, for people, and even going to the extent of even selling it out for colleagues just to make monies out of this. Okay, so one thing the government of the day is also doing about this issue is what? Inclusion of stiffer measures, of which we got to know about the the Act 108, which is the Section 68, saying that when someone offends in this manner, the person may face 1 or not less than 1 year or not more than 3 years of this punishment. But they are going to include what? More stiffer measures, of which when someone sees it and when someone sees a friend going in that, it will serve as deterrent for not the person going out there to share the videos of people. Now, before I conclude my statement, I have something to share with our dear youth. As the majority leader of the National Youth Mock Parliament, this is what I have for you. When my favorite Bible quotation is Micah chapter 6 verse 8, and I'm going to fix some things in it. It says, "He has shown you, oh man," but this time around it's going to be, "Oh youth, what is good and what is required of you under the Ghana's 1992 Constitution, not to share someone's private videos out there, because when you do that, you are going to face the consequence of the law." With this, I humbly submit, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Majority Leader, for the input after all the debates. Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. After listening to this debate, one thing has become painfully clear. Technology has moved faster than our sense of responsibility. Today, one private moment can be recorded in seconds and shared with one click and weaponized against a young person. Before you say Jack, the harm has already been caused and traveled beyond their control. Let me make this clear to the whole House. Consent to intimacy is not consent to publication. A private moment does not become public property just because somebody possesses a phone. Right, Honorable Speaker? We cannot entirely agree with the majority in the sense that the majority has spoken about punishment, they've spoken about where the prevention is supposed to be and all that. But the questions and emphasis we are laying is, majority, where is the prevention? Where is the education? And where is the protection for the victim? Stronger laws alone will not stop the problem. If young people are not educated properly about consent, privacy, and responsible use of digital platforms, we will continue punishing perpetrators after the damage has already been done. In protecting victims, a victim whose private image or video has been circulated should not become the subject of further humiliation, blame, or punishment, but rather the person who violated that privacy. What the youth of the country knows how to do best is always to drag the person whose privacy has already been leaked. What happens to the person who leaked it? That is where the emphasis should be. And right honorable, I also quote from the Bible. When you have the whole world and you lose your soul, what have you gained? Relating it to the motion before the House, what good is a strong law if action comes only after the nudity material has already been spread? Or when it is the victim who gets all the humiliating attention, leaving out the violator of whosoever shared it. Right honorable, my side of the house is not saying. Right honorable, my side of the house is not calling for weaker action, but smarter ones. I will leave this with the whole house to take to the house. This one is takeaway. PPA. Prevention, protection, and accountability. We urge the house to strengthen the motion with measures that are effective, smarter, constitutional, and centered on protecting the dignity of the young people. Let us not simply punish the damage, or let us not simply punish the perpetrators after the damage has already been done. Let us prevent the damage in the first place. Majority has the numbers, I will always say, but that does not mean having the argument or winning the argument. We shall therefore support what is in the public interest and oppose what is not, and question everything that deserves scrutiny. That is not obstruction, right honorable? That is a responsible, mighty minority. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minority Leader, for that insightful input. Before I attend to the Majority Leader, you may sit. Let me. We have in our midst the speakers of the National Student Speakers, and their chairman here, who is in the name of Right Honorable Edmond Owusu. May we see you. You are very welcome, and I see you've been following what we are doing. Thank you for coming, and we are glad to have you in our midst. Honorable Majority Leader, may we continue?
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. The Minority Leader spoke for about 5 minutes, and after everything, the sum of everything was that she was supporting the motion. So what was the essence of using the skirmishes? But notwithstanding that, Madam Speaker, we spent more time here, and as the leader of the House, I'm making indication that we move to item number 6A, which is we are going to do some public business because there are 4 papers to be presented by some ministers. With this, I humbly submit.
Honorable Minority Leader, the Majority Leader is saying we move to the last item, living.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Madam Speaker. I rise to second the motion moved by the Majority Leader, but let me make this clear. I didn't end my presentation supporting the motion. Majority spoke about actions, but the minority is calling for smarter actions and not what the majority presented. Thank you.
Thank you, and that is noted. Order in the House. Honorable members, at the commencement of public business, presentation of papers, Minister of Education, item 6A, please.
Report of the Ghana Tertiary Education Commission on the implementation of the affirmative action in relation to admission to public universities.
You may sit. Honorable member from the Minority Caucus, you have the floor. I was given that one very bad. Holy shit.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise on the Standing Order 97-3 with your indulgence, and I quote.
You can go ahead.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. A short explanatory statement shall be made by the person presenting a paper where a request by the House or a member upon the presentation. Right, Honorable Speaker, on these standing orders, I so request that a short explanatory statement should be made by the Minister for Education. Thank you.
Honorable Minister, the Honorable Member has requested you to make a brief statement under Order 97-3. Honorable Minister, you may do so now.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I am Jones Amega Shibiglo from Ho Central and the Minister responsible for education. And not only that, I hail from the Youth Impact Parliament, Ghana's most vibrant youth parliament and Ghana's first bicameral youth legislature. Right Honorable Speaker, the report assesses how far public universities have implemented the affirmative action and the measures to promote equitable access, particularly for disadvantaged and underrepresented groups. Madam Speaker, the assessment shows that the implementation has taken place across public universities, although the extent approach varies among institutions. Madam Speaker, the report therefore recommends stronger coordination, monitoring, and consistent application of the policy. Right Honorable, I hereby submit the report for the consideration of the House. I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member from the Minority, he has done as you requested. And Honorable Members, we shall resume with the presentation of papers. Honorable Minister of Finance, item 6B, please.
Report of the Ministry of Finance on allocations and releases to public universities.
Honorable Member from the Minority, are you standing on the same order? Okay. You may have your seats. This is to all committees and ministers who will be presenting the papers. Before we have the presentation of the papers, it is required that you give us a brief info about whatever we will be presenting. Thank you. Honorable Minister of Finance.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am Jeff Takwame Sefa, Youth Parliamentarian for Bia West, Western North Region, and the Minister for Finance for this Youth Parliament mock sitting. Madam Speaker, I rise to present a brief report as requested by the Honourable Member about my reports. And the report is also on the allocation and releases of funds to public universities. Right, Speaker, for the 2026 financial year, government has allocated a whopping 2.1 billion Ghana cedis to public universities. Government is really trying and is committed to maintaining fiscal discipline, as the President of the Republic, President John Dramani Mahama, has assured Ghanaians. Madam Speaker, as we speak, by August 2026, government has already released 67% of the total allocation, that is representing 1.4 billion Ghana cedis. Madam Speaker, the 1.4 billion Ghana cedis includes 980 million Ghana cedis for salaries, 220 million Ghana cedis for operations, and 200 million Ghana cedis for capital projects and digital infrastructure. Madam Speaker, the scripture reminds us in Luke chapter 16 verse 10 that whosoever has been entrusted with little can be entrusted with more. And like I've said, if by August 2026 we've been able to release 67% of the 100% allocations to the public universities, then I think we are already demonstrating the fiscal discipline that we're talking about and our commitment to ensure that universities have enough funding for their operations. The remaining 700 million Ghana cedis will be released in tranches before the year ends. This will be based on the revenue performance by the universities. This is for the fidelity of implementation. The reports that will be submitted by the universities will determine whether we are going ahead to release the remaining amount in the trenches, as I have said. Right, Honourable Speaker, government is also prioritizing STEM, innovation hubs, and support for girls in science, because we believe that when we fund these projects, we are building our universities to produce the skills that Ghana needs. In conclusion, right, Honourable Speaker, we are committed to timely releases and accountability. I urge the university leadership to ensure that these funds are used transparently and for the benefit of Ghanaian students. I therefore submit that this report be considered by the House. Thank you very much, Right Honourable Speaker.
Order in the House. The report has been duly presented. It is referred to the Finance Committee for consideration and report. The leadership of Committee on Education are to join the Finance Committee in the consideration of the report. Chairman of the Committee on Student Affairs, item 6C, please.
Report of the Committee on Student Affairs on the performance of students in public universities for the 2024-2025 academic year.
Okay, thank you, Madam Speaker. I go by the name Vida Abogbon Atenibila, representing the Zebula constituency. And right, Madam Speaker, your committee embarked on an oversight visit to public universities to ascertain the performances of students in the past just ended 2025-2026 academic year, and I've put up a report for the consideration of the House. Thank you.
Thank you, Honourable Committee Chair. The report has been duly presented. It is for distribution of honourable members. We move to item number 6D, Chairman of the Committee on Sports, item 6D, please.
Report of the Committee on Sports on the status of physical education among public basic schools in the country.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Please, my name is Joyce Asekre Adumbire for Kintampo North constituency. Right, Honorable Speaker, your committee took note of several concerns from the general public regarding the subject physical education. Some are of the view that the subject is no longer being taught. But according to our report, we realize that some of the schools have inadequate resources for physical education, inadequate time, and shortage of qualified physical education teachers. Accordingly, your committee has put together this report for the consideration of the House. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The report has been duly presented. It is for the distribution to honorable members. And this brings us to the end of the presentations of the papers. Majority Leader, I wait for your guidance.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. May you live long. I think we've exhausted everything on the order paper for today's sitting. And with that being said, I move that this House should be adjourned. Thank you very much.
Before I attend to our Honorable Minority Leader, we have in our midst MP for Kitsu North, who is in the person of Honorable Edem Abina. So sorry, the name is actually Honorable Edem Agbana. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Thank you. Honorable, thank you for joining us, and we are glad to have you. Honorable Minority Leader, may we proceed?
Long live the Vawaistas. Right Honorable. But, Right Honorable, with the utmost respect, I am rather surprised at the urgency with which the majority wishes to send this House home. We have only just returned from recess, yet the majority already appears ready to return to recess, and it's not possible. Because my side is ready to work. The people sent us here to represent them and not to watch the clock. So I therefore urge the majority to reconsider. If there is work before this House, let the work be done, because we are not adjourning to anywhere. Refer a few minutes ago, I told
to be in opposition. With that being said, I still move that this house should be adjourned.
Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable. But it is about time the other side of the house gets serious with parliamentary proceedings. We came back from recess not long ago, and I'm even surprised to see the other paper being very scanty. Are we here to joke? After a long recess, we just come to meet a scanty order paper. We are not going anywhere. They should face their defeat. Today, the majority has been defeated. They should face it. Where are they running to?
Honorable Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, is it the minority leader speaking on someone else? Has she forgotten that she's the ranking member for the business committee? Was she not there when this thing was prepared? So why is she saying this? Oh, Madam Speaker, I am very, very disappointed. I am very, very disappointed in her. Madam Speaker, I beg to your high office that this house should be adjourned so that we can attend to our committee meetings and other businesses as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Majority Leader. Honorable Minority Leader.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. But you know, everybody knows because the majority has the numbers, they cannot stand defeat. So let me choose to help my majority leader. So, Right Honorable, if the majority insists on going home, then I leave the matter to the judgment of the good people of Ghana. Let us all be cautious, Right Honorable. The public is watching, and they will ultimately judge whether the majority use this opportunity to work or simply use parliamentary time to prepare for the next adjournment. Like they always do.
I come again. Order in the house. Order in the house. The motion has been moved and seconded by our various caucus leaders. And the question is, as many as are in favor of adjournment, say aye. Say aye. As many as are against, say no. Say no. Order in the house. Order in the house. I think the ayes have it. Order in the house. Order in the house. The motion is adopted. The ayes have it, I think. The motion is adopted. The House is accordingly adjourned till Wednesday, 24th August, 2026 at 10 o'clock in the forenoon. Thank you, honorable members. Thank you everyone for joining us today in our very first National Youth Parliamentary Sitting. It was an honor having you and having everyone contributing. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I believe our young parliamentarians have really demonstrated a very good exercise, and so we need to commend them. Shall we give them a round of applause, a big round of applause? Thank you so much. Thank you so much. The Speaker, the leadership of the House, we really appreciate your demonstration. I believe time is not our friend at this moment. Ladies and gentlemen, we have in our midst a few more dignitaries who would like to make a few remarks. Okay, we have the honorable member for Ketu North, who was once a very vibrant youth parliamentarian and known by all. So permit me on this note to welcome Honorable Edem Agbana to give us a few remarks.
Well, honorable members of parliament, honorable members of the youth parliament, let me specify. Good afternoon to you all. I'm very happy to be here. I was invited by the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority, my very good friend and brother, Osman Ayariga. And even though I walked in late because I had some other assignments earlier this morning at Pram Pram, the few minutes that I witnessed really inspired me. And if there is any day that I've ever felt more confident about the future of our parliamentary democracy, I must say it is this afternoon, what I have just witnessed. When Osman came in, I asked him who trained them, because your ability to even argue your understanding of the parliamentary proceedings and procedures, I was surprised, and I was told that my very good friend Mustafa and Public Engagement, Department of Parliament, they did a great job, because it is a fact. I'm very sincere. Sometimes some of the things that I say, it lands me in trouble, but I'll say it. It's a fact that there are some people who have been in the House, but maybe understanding. We were told that House of Parliament is a school, it's a classroom. Every day we learn. Every day, all of us, we learn new things. I recall recently, I tried asking a follow-up question, and I tried laying a foundation, and the Honorable Frank Anodompre tried to bully me with the standing orders and all of that. It's all part of the business of Parliament. But the way at this age, with just 2 or 3 days training, you have excelled. It gives me confidence that the future of our parliament is great, and it will be great indeed. But, colleague young people, permit me to share with you 5 points in just 2 minutes before I take my seat. The first thing is that I want you to know that leadership is responsibility. You are not too young to lead. You are not too young to occupy a position. But leadership is not a title to go after, but it's responsibility. And so you don't necessarily have to occupy a position before you demonstrate that you are a leader. And for many of us who today, by God's grace, have the opportunity to serve in Parliament, we did not start when we were elected as members of Parliament. We started demonstrating leadership. That is the only way your communities, your constituencies can identify something in you and give you the opportunity to lead. And so don't chase after the title honorable. Chase after the responsibility. And when you discharge your duties well, in whatever capacity you are given as a young person, I can assure you that at the right time, you also make it to Parliament proper. The second thing is that I want us to put Ghana before politics. Indeed, our politics has become such a way that we are so partisan that even matters of national interest that are so obvious, that should engender some confidence and consensus among all of us, we try to play politics with it. Ideally, issues of education, issues of security are not issues we should be playing politics with. But I want to believe that a new generation of politicians are coming up, and I want to see that among you. Politicians who will place this country first before their political party colors. That is the only way we can build this country that we call Ghana. Because, trust me, if we divide ourselves along political lines, there will be no continuity in development. That is why across this country, across our campuses, across our constituencies, projects that hard-earned taxpayers' money have been invested in. One government starts, another comes, they abandon it, they start another one because everybody is chasing after the credit. Millions of Ghana cedis, millions of dollars have been wasted on projects that we never continued because of our affinity towards partisan politics. But I want us as young people, young leaders coming up, to begin changing the narrative so that when you see me, I am first Ghanaian before I am NDC. Because indeed, you are a Ghanaian first before you decided to either join the NDC or the NPP. So let's always learn to put our country first. The last thing I want to say is that as young people coming up, we need to practice patriotism daily. And patriotism is not wearing suit and putting the coat of arms on it. I see that a lot among young people today. It's not even right that you dress up and you have the coat of arms. It's not proper. By protocol, it's only the president and a few people in certain positions that can do that. We believe that is how we exercise or we show that we are patriotic. It is not about dressing and having or waving the Ghana flag. It is not about having the, all these lapels, things showing that we belong to Ghana. But it is about the honesty with which we go about our daily activities. Today we are all complaining about the pace of development. We all agree that corruption is a canker that is destroying this nation. We all agree that wastage of public funds is destroying this country. But as young people, as a young person, the question is the small position that you occupy. Are you sincere to yourself? Do you have integrity? How are you serving even students that have elected you? Small public funds or group funds, association funds that have been given to you to manage. How well are you managing it? Let us practice patriotism daily. And it is not just in appearing in our national flags, but it is about the sincerity and the integrity with which we serve this country. I wish you all well. Let's continue learning. And I believe that Ghana will be great because you and I have decided to make it so. Thank you so much.
Wow, that was a very powerful speech. Another round of applause for the Honorable Eric Edem-Agbana. Thank you so much for that wonderful speech. Ladies and gentlemen, I move to the last person who would be addressing us, and that would bring us to the end of today's session. She is the brain behind who I am today, and she's my boss. I would like to use this opportunity to invite the Director Public Engagement in the person of Superintendent Mrs. Ifya Tenge, retired. Ladies and gentlemen, shall we welcome her? Please, let's keep clapping for her, please.
Hello. Good afternoon. Please, a here for all of us. That reminds me that we are actually in a parliamentary chamber. I must start with a commendation to all of you. In fact, this afternoon I walked in here with the clerk to Parliament after a number of trophy tours. We were at the Inspector General of Police's office, after which we went to the National Commission for Civic Education before coming here. And all is to promote the Democracy Cup, which event comes off in Kumasi on the 28th of August. That's Friday coming. So those of you who are in Kumasi, please find your way to the Kumasi Sports Stadium. And when we came here in the afternoon, when the clerk was exiting, when he got there, he said, bow, because we are in a chamber. It doesn't matter where has been constituted as a chamber. Once we are having a sitting, we must learn to do the right thing. And so he bowed first and said, if you bow, bow. I don't know whether some of you saw him. Good. And so these are the practices we continue to pass on. We leave the bad things behind, and those that are good, the traditions, those that we need to pass on, we pass on the good ones. And I was just admiring while sitting throughout. I listened pensively to all the debate that was going on. And that is how come I said, put your hands together for yourself. I am supposed to be doing a closing remarks. And I drafted this while sitting, so I don't miss anything. So please, I'll be very grateful if you can lend me your ears so that I give you the closing remarks for this important mock sitting. Let me start by acknowledging the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority. Again, you're here, your deputy is also here. Then our own honorable member of Parliament also has joined us. In fact, I thought about calling him and some few other people. And so when I saw him, I was like, thank you so much for coming. This is the inspiration. Some of us did not come closer to the people who were in power. And so normally when we are having programs like this, when we see you, it's an encouragement to us. And so I'm so grateful to see you here this afternoon. Again, I would also want to commend all of you, particularly all those who played the role of honorable members. I was admiring the majority and the minority leaders. You are leading a whole caucus. Sometimes it's not so easy. But I saw my lady doing what ladies can do best. And so a here to her. And that also does not, I don't want to sound discriminatory. And so men, you also here for you. And normally, it is also encouraging to see young people not only preparing to lead Ghana in the future, but already contributing to the conversations and decisions that shape our country. Ladies and gentlemen, indeed, the future of Ghana is already being built by you. It is not tomorrow. It is being built by you. By so doing, or by so saying, I would want to pause a minute and acknowledge the Chief Executive Officer, whom I have already acknowledged, Mr. Osman Abdullah Yariga, Esquire, for leading the National Youth Month, an initiative I believe has created a platform to promote youth development, participation, and leadership. I followed keenly Please, if you have to say here, say it. And unless I forget, it is not here. Okay? It is here. It is here. I followed keenly the activities organized by the National Youth Authority through the National Youth Month, including the Youth Conference in Kumasi and the forum at the UPSA in Accra, which brought together thousands of young people, youth leaders, stakeholders. And for me, these engagements show that our youth are not short of ideas, or neither are they willing to participate. Today's democracy, if I should emphasize, is no longer simply about fair elections. It's gone way beyond that. It is also about inclusive institutions. And again, citizens having meaningful opportunities to participate, not just participating, express themselves, and again, influence decisions that affect their lives. For young people, we are ready at the center of this transformation, and we can see that. Through technology, innovation, community action, and social media, young people are shaping public conversations and influencing society in ways we have never seen before. Our time, we did not have social media. I am not so old anyway. And this is why the vision of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, and once you have begun talking about Parliament, we should also be interested in the global bodies where the Parliament of Ghana sometimes draw our inspiration from. And one of them is the Inter-Parliamentary Union. If you are not aware of this global union, please, you can search for it. And one of the vision of the IPU is for stronger youth participation in Parliament and also democratic governance. And that is so important that this global body. Young people must not only be beneficiaries of public policy, but rather they must also be active participants in shaping it. The Parliament of Ghana is committed to creating opportunities for young people to understand Parliament, engage with parliamentarians, express their views, and contribute to national development. Today, that is the mock sitting is one of such opportunity. It is more than a simulation, if I should say, and it is an opportunity to experience democratic deliberation and, again, understand the responsibilities that come with leadership. Leadership comes with responsibility, and that is what our honorable member emphasized. The debate on the floor, that is your floor, our Parliament this afternoon, has been timely and important. I am particularly encouraged that young people who are the major users of today's technology have identified some of the dangers associated with social media. Social media, we can all know or acknowledge or testify that it is a powerful tool for learning, mobilization, innovation, democratic participation. But when it is misused, it can become a platform for cyberbullying, harassment, blackmail, extortion, and the violation of people's privacy and dignity. The sharing of private or intimate photographs and videos without consent can cause serious and lasting harm. I said serious and lasting harm. But I think that the solution actually begins with us. We must be responsible digital citizens. Think before you post. Respect other people's privacy. Do not share content that can humiliate or harm another person. Do not use social media to threaten, blackmail, or extort others. They are evil. And when we see such abuse, let us not remain silent. And what even worries me is the fact that when we get them, we continue to share. The one who created has not committed a more sin than the one who sees, knowing the implications, and keep sharing. As we strengthen collaboration between Parliament and the National Youth Authority, let us also create more platforms where young people can move from expressing their aspirations to developing practical solutions and engaging decision makers. Today, the young people participating in this mock session, I say, do not see yourselves only as leaders of tomorrow. You are leaders of today. And what did I say? Leaders of today. That is my challenge to you. Your voice matters. Your participation matters. And your conduct, both offline or online, also matters. Let this mock sitting, therefore, be more than an exercise. Let it be a statement of our collective commitment to a Ghana where young people participate responsibly, leading with integrity, and also use technology to build rather than to destroy. We shouldn't destroy with technology. It is in this reason the Parliament of Ghana stands ready to listen to you, work with you, and create opportunities for meaningful participation. On this note, I would want to express the heartfelt gratitude of the Right Honourable Speaker, Alban Sumanaki Nsford-Bagbin, the leadership of the House, the Clerk to Parliament, all members, 276 members of Parliament, the departments. Thank you so much for considering us as a strategic partners for this year's Youth Month celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, before I take my seat, I would also want to show appreciation to the Parliament training team, with a particular mention to Prince, to Eben. Is Prince in the house? Yes, give me a wave. Please let it go for him. Let's give it up for him. Is Eben with us? Yes, Eben is also there. Good. Then your youth coordinator, Mustafa, a promising giant in parliamentary democracy. The PVC, I heard somebody talking about the PVC, having the lasting impression when you visit Parliament, led by Ms. Margaret Donko. She was here some few minutes ago. The ICT department, the parliamentary broadcasting, that's the GH Parliament TV, the table office, and everybody, our media team. I want to say thank you very much. But before you leave, do you have phones? Do we have our phones with us? Can we pick the phones, please? So, which social media do you engage most? How many of you are watching us, Parliament of Ghana? Do we have any? The rest of you, what are you doing? Please go to Parliament. Let's go to the Parliament Facebook. Tell me what is happening there. You are live? Please put your hands together for Parliament of Ghana. I hope we are also live on NYA. Social media has come to stay. If you are interested in becoming a leader, every day, because of open Parliament, I heard one of you read a statement on open Parliament. Parliament wants to open up. So please, don't limit yourself. Ensure that you are following Parliament of Ghana. And how many of you are also watching GH Parliament TV? Are we? We've not even heard about it. We have. Because this is where we churn out most of these educational programs. Parliament, together with NYA, will go into a deeper conversation to see where we can partner so that we can reach the ends of this country, so that every youth will have a feel of what leadership looks like. And again, we hope to explore avenues that will take most of you outside of the country to also go and compete. This year, I'm proud to announce that through the Department of Public Engagement, we're able to sponsor 2 of our student parliamentarians to Australia to go and compete with their compatriots. And so this is what we seek to have. Let's not just continue to be having the mock sitting, but we ensure that whatever we are being prepared for actually shows in our daily life by being responsible. On this note, let me thank you very much for the opportunity, and I wish all of us a lovely day. Thank you.
Please, another round of applause for Superintendent Mrs. Efia Tenge, retired. Thank you so much for that wonderful words. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the session, and so I would call on somebody very vibrant from the Minority Caucus. Yes? No, Minority Caucus. Yes, to give us a vote of thanks, and then we can proceed to the closing prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, Gloria Amponsan, let's welcome her, our able minority leader, for the vote of thanks.
Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority, Deputy CEO of the National Youth Authority, Madam Speaker, Members of Parliament present, Director of the Department of Public Engagement of the Parliament of Ghana, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I rise to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who has contributed to the success of this sitting of the National Youth Parliament. First and foremost, let's give thanks to the Almighty God for His mercies and favorable weather conditions and turn of events. Furthermore, let's also acknowledge Madam Speaker for her leadership, patience, and firm guidance throughout our deliberations. Her direction has reminded us that Parliament is not merely a place where we speak, but a place where we listen, reason, and seek solutions for our nation. I also extend my deepest appreciation to the National Youth Authority, clerks, organizers, facilitators, trainers, and officials whose hard work behind the scenes has made this sitting possible. Your commitment to developing young leaders is an investment in the future of Ghana. To my fellow honorable members, I commend you for the courage, passion, and maturity demonstrated in this House. We may have disagreed on issues, of course, but our disagreements have shown that democracy thrives when different voices are given the opportunity to be heard. Today, we have not simply debated motions. We have practiced leadership. We have practiced accountability, and we have practiced democracy. Let us therefore carry the lessons from this chamber beyond these walls. Let us return to our schools, communities, and institutions, not merely as young people who attended Parliament, but as young citizens prepared to contribute meaningfully to the development of Ghana. Mr. Speaker, the future of Ghana will not be built by words alone. It will be built by young people who are willing to turn ideas into action, responsibility into leadership, and opportunity into service. On behalf of this House, once again, thank you to everyone who made this sitting possible. May our deliberations today become the foundation for the Ghana we want tomorrow. Medamasi.
All right, thank you very much, our minority leader. Now, the closing prayer, ladies and gentlemen, I call on Miss Agatha Nyame to give us the closing prayer. Yes.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. We want to thank God so much for how far He's brought us, the journey mercies He gave us from our various destinations. We cannot end this program without saying a word of prayer. Please, let's close our eyes. Heavenly Father, we want to say a very big thank you to you. We are most grateful for how far you've brought us. We want to say a very big thank for giving us the wisdom to even deliberate today, for the motion before our house. Heavenly Father, we pray that may you give us the wisdom not to just see it as just a mere debate, but something that the nation can build on, the youth can build on. We thank you so much for everybody here. As we are going, we commit each and every member here into your hands. May you grant us journey mercies so that at the end of the day, we will say glory and honor be unto your name. These are many other blessings we ask through your Son, Jesus. Amen.
All right, thank you very much, Miss Agatha Nyame. Ladies and gentlemen, a short announcement. We are going to have a group photo session, okay? So all participants would move out there in front of the elevator where the MP's elevator. There is some grass, at the front there, that area. Please, we are going to have the group photo over there. So all participants, let's start moving before our Chief Executive and Directors, MPs, join us for the photograph. Leave them, just leave them. Thank you so much for coming. We have come to the end of the session. Please, let's hurry up. Let's be very snappy about this.